Hello, and welcome back to Advanced Concepts, Advanced Brain Movement. Cleared out 3 rooms last time, we're heading to the south now, but before we do that, some unfinished business. Occurred to me, I never stepped on this scroll. This is a brain-visible obstacle, however, roaches are able to walk over the scroll normally. It's the brain that's telling them not to come this way. Okay. There we go. Got that sorted out. Wait, so to the south, this was weight, decoys and stalwarts, and invisibility. Possibly each given 1 room. For the training areas, escape exit, main level exit. Brains and invisibility, weight, stalwarts and decoys. Let's do that first because I think that's going to be the hardest out of these 3. Information room? Okay, it looks like I don't even have any way to proceed from here. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3. Scroll. Multi-pressure. I should be left clicking on these to see what they do. Okay, I click on... okay, so this is just an observation. Okay, easy enough. Normally, a brained roach will follow the path towards you, but if a decoy is close enough to be their target, they will instead head towards it using unbrained movement. This continues until something happens to make them switch their target. Okay, so right now, they're going to me. Yep, still going to me. Oh, sees the decoy. And... actually, yeah, let's just start this over so I can demonstrate this. You can see that they're unbrained here, because here, it's brained, and it's not doing a diagonal slide. Instead, it's just facing directly north, because north is the space that it's being told to move to. Right? So see this. Due south. They're not sliding at all. Here, it's now trying to target this, which means it's trying to move diagonally. So this means that it is no longer brained, even though there's a path that leads to it that would be brained. So the decoy completely negates the brain when they're within the decoy's field like this. I think that's what's going on here. Yeah, because they're not going to go around at all, they're just going to sit there until the decoy dies. Now they're going to be brained again. And they'll come down here. Alright, that was 1. Now we're dealing with stalwarts. Brained roaches will completely ignore stalwarts and will not attack them unless the brain tells them the best route is through them, or something happens to make the roach unbrained. Okay. So again, we got these brained... Yeah, and the reason for this is the way the brain path map works, it targets the player, specifically. And it just basically... Things have no path going to the... Okay, let me reword that. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Well, I know what I was trying to say, I just wasn't saying it. The roaches are trying to get to Beethro. That's what the brain is making them do. If a stalwart happens to be in the way, they'll eat through the stalwart, but if it's not, then they won't. They'll just ignore it. Even though, like, south arrows, I mean, force arrows aside, they'll ignore the force arrow that something's standing on anyway, but no. The brain has a path map leading to the player, and only to the player. Something that confused me recently in another hold I was playing through, was the time clone interaction with brains, where the temporal projection, like when you're making the recording in the first case, then it counts as the player, so the brain directs the roaches to you. But then once the temporal recording is running, and you've got the projection running along, the roaches will completely ignore it, although they will still kill it if it happens to be in the square that they're trying to move through to get to you. So that can be a little bit weird. Okay, so what's going on here? What's going to happen, because you move before you. So you saw something, you're going to swing your sword north, then you are going to have an obstacle in your path. You're still trying to get to me, but you're instead going to act unbrained and move south in this instance. Yeah. Yeah, and now, because there's no path to me, you're targeting the stalwart. However, what determines whether a brained roach is distracted by a decoy or not is its current target. They select their target as if they were unbrained. If their target is a decoy, they head for that decoy. Any stalwart in range takes precedence over a decoy, but if a brained roach's target is not a decoy, then the roach will follow the brain's path. This path leads directly to you. Okay. Note that only when the roaches are outside the stalwart's range do they care about the decoys. Until that time, their sole target is you. Why did they... Wait, what's going on here? These are regular decoys, regular stalwarts on arrows. Why did they suddenly change their mind once this went down? All it did was open this. Yeah. Yeah, I don't get what's going on here. You should all be moving towards me. Why are you suddenly paying attention to the decoys that you were ignoring? Okay, that's what this is saying. Okay. Okay, I got it. So what's happening is that they're within range of the stalwart. And because of that, because they're in range of the stalwart, which is 5, I guess. So it's still in range of the stalwart at 5, so it's going to step forward. Now these two roaches are too far. They don't see the stalwart anymore. I don't think the 5 thing actually makes any sense. It's probably just distance to me, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So the issue here is that they're closer to me than they are to the stalwart. Man, this is really weird. Okay, they're closer to me than they are to the stalwart, so because of that, they're now ignoring the stalwart. They now pay attention to decoys. However, when they're closer to the stalwart than they are to me, they use the brain path map. So if I move forward, here they come for me. Okay. This is weird. This is really weird. So what I'm seeing is the roaches see that a stalwart is closer than I am. So they then then the brain takes control of them and sends them to me. However, when I'm closer to them than the stalwart is, they ignore the stalwart. Okay, so this isn't quite right. I don't quite have this yet. The stalwart and the decoy have a different effect. So when the normally they don't try to attack the decoy. in the same way. They only are attracted to the decoy if they're within 5 of the decoy. However, when they're within 5 of the decoy, if anything else takes precedence, then the brain takes control. So what's happening is they're not trying to go for the decoy, they're trying to go for the stalwart. And because they're trying to attack the stalwart, the brain says, okay, here's the path, but the brain's path is to me. So they're trying to attack the stalwart, but they're being led to me by the brain. However, once they no longer are trying to target the stalwart, then they see the decoy and they get distracted. That's... okay, no, I understand what's going on, but I hope I never have to actually use that in a real puzzle. That's pretty awful. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, worse than I thought. Okay, wait. Well, we already covered this in was it goblins or roach and brain? I know we did it for sure in the roach and brain. I think we might have also done... oh no, we didn't have brain goblins. That was a different issue with the goblin. Okay. Anyway, so in the roaches and brains annex, what we saw was that a brained roach that is told to wait by the brain says, waiting is the best move you have. The roach then says, yeah, screw that, I'm going to do this on my own. And then it picks its own path. So it ignores the brain when the brain tells it to wait. It acts unbrained in that instance. Okay, scroll 1. The order of preference for normal brain monster movement is north, west, east, south, wait, northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast. So yes, wait takes precedence over diagonals. However, when an enemy is told that wait is the best available option, it will instead ignore the brain for that turn. When a brain monster is told to wait, it will try to move towards you on its own unbrained instincts. This can sometimes allow it to traverse elements that a brain would normally avoid, such as force arrows and scrolls. Yes, so let's do left and... well, we'll do this first. Wait, what does this open? Only that, okay. So I can't actually go anywhere here, so I'm going to... okay, so what's going on here? You are trying to go through the brain, right? You're not sliding, so you're currently brained. You're trying to go through the brain. In this chamber we have a roach who is using brain behavior while you're in the northeast part of the room. Until you reach the marked tiles, both squares that the roach has access to are equal distance from you, and so the roach will move via brain movement preference. Okay, so it's just going to keep going up and down like this, as long as I'm anywhere in here, until I hit here. Because it's brained, it sees obstacle, obstacle, it can't move in either of those, so its only choice is going to be to move north and south here. In the northern square, the roach prefers to move south over wait, and in the southern square, the roach prefers to move north over wait. So yeah, wait, it just jumps back and forth. When you enter the marked area, the roach will no longer be told that the northern square is the same distance from you as the southern square. In the southern square, it will instead be told that wait is a better option than heading north. Right. Because if I'm here, this then takes it further away from me. Here and here would both be equal. Would be equal? No, that would take it... This would be where... this would specifically be this spot that it would be trying to move to. And in that instance, it's not able to move here, or it's not able to move here or here. This spot is considered to be an obstacle, so it will wait, but then it'll actually step south. Once this occurs, the roach will move as if unbrained, and will finally move over the force arrow. Yes. So if I wait, go down here, yeah. And yeah, now it doesn't matter. Although I do need to actually come through here and stab the brains in order to get out. Okay, that was a good little demonstration. And hopefully my talking through this is helpful. A lot of the time I actually do know what's going on, so it's pretty easy for me to articulate. This room was an example of where I don't know what's going on, so I don't know. Hopefully in either case it's worth me actually speaking out my thoughts. Otherwise I guess this would be a pretty boring video. Okay, here we have a roach, not unroach. Here we have a roach oscillating between brain and unbrained movement. Recall that the force arrow is a visible obstacle to brains when the brain itself is invisible. While the brain itself is invisible. Right. So here, what's going to happen? You are trying to move to me. The brain says, hey, there's a path, you should take it. And then here, the brain's going to say, well, the only spot that's going to get you closer to that Delver is right here. And unfortunately, the brain itself is there, so the roach is just going to be told to wait, and then it will slide either here or here, depending on whether I'm on the scroll or not. Yeah. Because it's no longer brained, it now is trying to get to me whenever it's making the westward move. When the roach is on the western square, it is told that moving west is impossible, but that moving east will bring it closer to you. In this manner, it will act brained. When the roach is on the eastern square, it is told that moving west or northwest will take it further away from you and that east will bring it closer, but it can no longer move east. The brain tells it that the best option is to wait. Okay, so this is what I just said on my own. Aha! This is going to be different now because we're on this side of the roach. Since it's told to wait, the roach will default to unbrained movements, so whenever the roach is in the eastern square, its next movement will be an unbrained move towards you. Yes. So now it's trying to move here, it's trying to move here, step here, it's trying to move here, then it'll be brained and it'll move back. Here, if I wait, it doesn't matter. Since the roach is never unbrained while in the western square, it can never move over the force arrow. We could have replaced it with a wall and observed the same effect. Yeah. That's a good point. And there we go. But the force arrow is more convenient for us getting back through on our own. One way has a scroll immediately, the other does not. Let's do this one first. Is this a character? Oh, this is an actual mimic. Okay. I just didn't notice. Since this is I think the only entry that's used character mimics. Or, Soulless, I guess they can sometimes... No, Soulless is different than character mimic. Soulless would be like the torture chambers from The City Beneath, if I remember right. The unkillable mimic that has a predefined pattern of movement. In this chamber, the roach can either move southwest or wait. Both are equal distance from you through brain-invisible obstacles. Northeast, the final option, is further away. Okay, so it can move southwest or wait. Both are equal. Both are equal, okay. But it prefers wait over the diagonal, and then it does an unbrained move. This is further away. Out of the two best options, wait has higher priority. The roach will act unbrained. And yes, that's going to be true all the way up to here. Okay, the arrows are forcing me to do it in this order. The same thing happens in reverse when you lure the roach to the southwest square. Note that the choice between northeast and wait, but wait takes priority over diagonal directions when tied. This will continue to happen while the brain obstructs the southeast square. Not open that, okay. Finally, when you lure it over the arrow, the choices will be between north and west. North and west. The brain believes the force arrow to be an obstacle and thus cannot calculate that square's distance from you. They will therefore choose to send the roach north by preference. Do I need that mimic? No, because now you'll go through. Okay. If a roach is completely unable to move, then it will act as if unbrained, even if the brain has been able to chart a path from it to you. Right, so they have a path through here. But this roach, well, both roaches can't move. So this one's just gonna wait, and this one will move unbrained onto the force arrow. Moving this far east will lure the eastern unbrained roach over the arrow. However, this frees space for the western roach, and it will start alternating between brained and unbrained movement like the roach in the above chamber did. Right. So now you can move, so you're gonna move here. So you can move. So like we saw up here, when I am to the when you are up against the brain, you're trying to move through the brain. When you're up against it, you'll make an unbrained move, and then you'll make a brained move that way, which means you're going to be facing the wall and you're going to be facing the brain on alternating turns. Yeah. And likewise, now you've stacked unbrained because this would actually take you further away from me, so it's no longer a valid path. Alright. Finally, note that the movement order of enemies can also create brain invisible obstacles. Enemies may be told to wait simply because there are too many of their friends blocking their way. In both of these chambers, the westernmost roaches move first. As such, if they are blocked by the eastern roaches, they will be told to wait. And observe how movement order changes how the roaches will approach you. So we've got... the brains are first, right? Yeah. So here, what's going to happen? You will be blocked. You're going to move first, but you can't move, so you're going to move this way. You will then... that would take you further away from me, so you're also going to move diagonally, and then you're going to step here. So I think that's what's going to happen. Yes, okay. From here, step, step, and step. And now, if I wait here, you're not going to move at all. And yeah, because you'll also be stuck. Or if I do this, you'll move back onto the arrows, because you're again going to act unbrained. Okay. Here, it's going to be different, because in this case, they have the correct turn order, they're all just going to be able to slide along here without ever using the arrows. However, if I move north, it doesn't matter, you're going to be unbrained. But you're going to still not want to step through the arrows, you're just going to go that way. Okay. Yeah, so I already understood sort of how this was going to work, but it was still a bit of work to get through. Finally, brains and invisibility. Let sleeping brains lie. Challenge room. Also, speed potion, decoy potion. Something happened, but I'm going to read the scroll first, and then, well, okay, apparently it's cut off, but... When invisible, brains cannot locate you for other monsters unless you are close enough to them. If you are also hasted, you can only be detected by brains and other enemies on full turns. Unleashing the briar without altering the... And unfortunately, because this hold, I'm pretty sure is only, the editor is only creator and masters. Either conquerors or masters. I think it was masters. I actually am not going to be able to read the rest of the scroll until I've completed every single secret in the entire hold. Surprised that something like this didn't get caught in testing, actually. But, Joe, there's another scroll there. So unleashing the briar without something... well, let's back up so that we don't say anything. So what happened? What happened was this pressure plate got held down, and that's going to kill the briar. Okay. Is this a good thing to do? No, because I don't think we can ever actually get in here. They're brained, so they're trying to move towards us. So we're required to take that. However, we can do it either way. Okay, so what's the point of this? The point of this is that if at any time the brains see me, these step forward. So I don't want the brains to see me until I've dropped all the trapdoors. Okay, what does this do? This opens that. Okay. So I need to drop all the trapdoors. There's a couple more scrolls, but basically I need to do sneaky stuff. And every second turn I can't be adjacent to a brain. Okay. So I think I want to go to this scroll next. I think that's what I see here. I have to wait again. I can do that. Okay, this isn't too bad as far as challenge rooms go. So yeah, I can't get that. I can't get to that yet. That decoy potion is going to make this a lot worse, though. Individual monsters that smell you when you're invisible won't be able to rely on brains if no brain can sense you. You can safely deal with them without alerting the entire room to your presence. Decoys have no effect on a brain's senses, even when you're invisible. Okay. One trapdoor down. So where does this decoy go? Probably I want to stab a brain with it, if I had to guess. This brain in particular is looking like a good target. Because if I take out this brain, well, I can hit that, and I can also get around here. That's going to be a problem, though. I guess... Well, I don't need to kill the roach right away, so I guess I'm going to sneak through this way. So that would let me take out this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, I can take out this. Oh, I see the lighting around the brains. It's faint, but I can see kind of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Okay, I'm going to be able to take everything out as long as his brain is dead. Okay. So we'll do this. Do I want to attract that roach? It doesn't really matter. Just to not, I'm going to do it this way. Oh, whoops. Hey look, I'm a decoy because I'm invisible. Okay, so here... This is a problem. Okay. If this was open, I could ignore that. So what I actually need to do is push this down. And I think it doesn't matter what way I'm facing. Okay, so we're just going to do that. Yeah, the brain doesn't care, but the roach does, for what it's worth. Speaking is hard. Whoops, pay attention. There we go, I can still get this. I don't care about that roach enough to go and get it. That one, though, we do have to take out. Okay. Them stepping on there, that's just going to kill all the briar, but that's fine. Now we just go around cleaning up. I guess I didn't need to take out the decoy. There we go. So again, half an hour. How many rooms is this? If it's another 3, maybe I'll leave it. If it's just 1, oh, I don't even know. Yeah, no, this looks like a lot of stuff. And even though I think it's going to be fairly straightforward, I'm still going to wait, I think. So that'll be it then for this time. Cleared out another wing as I said, and yeah, it looks like we'll be doing one an episode. We'll stick with that. So that's all for now. It's advanced brain movement, dealing with situations involving decoys, stalwarts, waiting, and then acting unbrained while waiting, and then a room involving invisibility. And I guess the trick with this one was the invisibility. Well, even the decoys, like, decoys don't affect brains really. So, yeah, I guess, I mean, this wasn't really, this was a challenge room, it wasn't really teaching us anything, which I guess was what it said. Alright, so that's it for now, and I will see you next time for more advanced brain movement.